Hi everyone, my name is Surina, you're watching Now It's So Vivid, and the intention of today's video is to spitball ideas and help me come up with my new moon ritual. So happy new moon everybody. I had made a decision about what I would be doing. I always do one spell over the course of the lunar cycle. Now I also work on other spells while that's going on, but I always set an intention for the new moon and then I just go bananas and do whatever to feed that energy of whatever it is I'm working on the new moon and carry it until the next new moon. So this new moon is important to me because the next new moon happens to fall on a day that is of particular significance. I am petitioning our local county court so that I can legally change my name. My first name. Yeah, so this is a big deal. I've gone by the name Surina since I was 14. It is not my name at birth. Really only my mother refers to me as my name that she named me, but pretty much everybody else except the law has referred to me as Surina because I asked them to. It's very much part of my personal identity. It came from a time in my life where I was having some existential angst, and at kind of a premature age I've always been a little wise beyond my years, which has been, you know, both a blessing and sometimes a curse. But essentially I chose this name for myself. It's very important to me. I assign a lot of my identity to my name, which is strange because we are who we are no matter what we're called. And I could change my name tomorrow to something completely different and I would still be me. But I still wanted to use that nuance of my relationship to the name that I chose for myself in creating a new moon ritual tonight. And it started to kind of blossom at work today. I was sort of chewing on it, and this really all came about when I got the summons from the court that my hearing day was going to be on the new moon next month. So we shall see how this pans out, and I hope to use this video as part of my archive of information regarding how I came up with it. So I should begin with a little bit of context. I would like to bring in this lunar cycle sort of an enrichment of my identity. Not necessarily my personality, like I don't plan on becoming a brand new person by the change of my name. I want to really consider how I connect to my personal identity through my name. And I want it so that it isn't totally reliant on me being granted permission by the court, because there's a 50-50 chance here that, you know, the judge could just turn my request down and be like, nope, denied. And I don't have like a criminal background or anything, so I would say the odds are in my favor, but I would still like to play it safe because I am still me and I am still Surina, whether or not the law says I am. And it's okay to like hold on to that as part of my identity. But at the same time, I don't want to get so caught up in that idea that I kind of set myself up for failure and don't work hard toward my goal. So a lot of the practical steps that I have taken towards this goal, I've already taken because they were things that I had to prepare for, lots of paperwork and sort of legal shit and paying fines, or not fines, but fees, excuse me, where I would give the court money to file the petition and then give the papers money to print it and all this stuff, and it's become quite an expensive process. So you best know that I really do want my name to be legally changed because I don't ever want to do this again. But yeah, so I want there to be some kind of gray quality, some sort of ambiguity to this ritual tonight so that I don't set myself up for not being able to get my name changed, and so that I don't hold on to Surina so strongly that if it isn't given to me, it'll fucking, you know, crush my spirit and rock my world. So there is a delicate balance here If you've read my latest blog post, I had a revelation of sorts about the equinox and about its relationship to balance, and I'm just feeling a little weird about balance lately, but I have sort of adopted a new policy about it, that if you get really specific and try not to be so broad spectrum about balance, it's much easier to handle because you're not juggling multiple things. Pause for water. So I'm happy that I have this medium of video so that I can come up with this, and when the court date was announced, that's when, you know, the seed was planted in my mind, like, oh, I should do this on the new moon, and that way I could do it that way I can do it for the full lunar cycle, and hopefully manifest this new change in my life. And I want it to be like a spell surrounding personal transformation, because whether or not I am who I am, I would love to use this moment to better myself in some way, to take on qualities that I've always really wanted, to wear like a skin, you know what I mean? Like, I want to carry them with me for the rest of my days. So I was thinking about creative ways that I can sort of get into this, and I knew I wanted to have this be like a sort of transformative experience, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what, no matter the outcome of the hearing, this is going to be my transformation, and that new moon will instill something in me. So I was trying to think of ways that I could, sort of tools that I could use to help me manifest this thing. And I love pop culture paganism, you guys. I have Julia Child in my kitchen, and I'm really into Final Fantasy X. For any of you gamer nerds out there who like JRPGs, Final Fantasy is my jam. Final Fantasy X was a truly defining moment in my life. The first time I ever played that game and beat it, and I was like, whoa, mind blown. So Lulu from Final Fantasy X is someone that I work with in my practice, and she's become kind of like my avatar almost, because I definitely modeled myself after her. It's not just the boobs, I'm just saying I'm also kind of goth, and I really like magic, and I like dolls. So I'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, so pop culture paganism sort of popped into my mind, and I was trying to think of like pop icons who could help me in this way, and I was having a hard time. I did some research and I was looking online, and damn you Google, because your search results were a little bleh. But I was looking for characters who changed their name, and specifically change their name, not just go through some kind of like physical transformation or even a character arc, but they change their name. And there aren't too many that change their name and then keep the name they changed to. I found a lot of characters that sort of went back to their old life, and I didn't want that, you know what I mean? It's way too, it's way counterproductive and certainly not helpful. And then I came up with a character. I was looking through like a list of characters that went through transformations of some kind, and I came across what is possibly the perfect character, okay? Here we go. It's Neo. So, okay, let me explain. I want to use Neo because out of all the characters that I had researched online today, he seemed to be the only one that not only changes his name and then keeps his name, but also doesn't necessarily go through a transformation. And here's where it gets kind of interesting. I liked the parallel of using Neo because I really love how in the movie Neo doesn't necessarily become the one. He always is the one. He's kind of like looking for his untapped potential to start bursting forth. It's always within him, but essentially it's by his choice alone that he becomes the one. And I thought that was really interesting, of using potential as a catalyst for this ritual tonight. And I'm looking for ways on how to do that physically, like actually do. I'm very hands-on with my spell work and a lot of my stuff. Like, I can't just meditate and sort of think in the abstract. And the astral is kind of hard for me, which sounds weird because I'm a dream witch, I know. But truthfully, my favorite types of spellcraft are the ones where I get my hands dirty and where I burn stuff and where I make shit, and that's just part of who I am as a person. So that's something that I'm going to have to expand upon in a little bit. I haven't really decided how I'm gonna do it yet. So anyway, back to Neo. I also just love how in the movie The Matrix, by the way, I wonder how many of you are already rolling your eyes because I love The Matrix. It's not just because of Morpheus, you know, he's a character that is named in irony because he wakes people from being within the dream of the Matrix and wakes them back to reality, whereas Morpheus is the master of dreams. Take that for what you will, and there really are no parallels between Morpheus, the character from The Matrix, and Morpheus, the god, I've found. But I do love the character of Morpheus. I'm not gonna lie, Lawrence Fishburne is the best. But anyway, I just love that scene in the movie where they're in the sort of subway tunnel and Neo's fighting Agent Smith and they're really duking it out, and then they end up on the train tracks, and the train tracks are coming, and, you know, Agent Smith's got Neo in a headlock and he's like, I'm gonna talk trash in your ear, and he keeps snarling his muggle name back to him, Mr. Anderson, and then there's that moment where Keanu's like, my name is Neo, and then he like explodes as like the super Jesus character that he is, and and then wins the fight, you know. But there's that moment, you know what I mean, where he actually like confronts the sort of part of his subconscious that is telling him that he's not special, and he's just like, fuck you, I'm Neo. So that's how I feel sometimes when, you know, people say my current legal name back to me. I'm just like, I am Surina, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't sound like my name anymore. That using that parallel from that scene just felt like something that I had to incorporate into the spell as well. So what do we got so far? We've got potential, unrealized potential, and we've got that this is Sparta moment of like claiming your name, and just the thought that no one can really tell you who you are except for you. So also in my research at work today, I was looking up some quotes. I'm not really a big quote person. Like, I certainly don't, pardon me, sorry, seltzer water. I certainly don't memorize quotes. I'm okay when I find a quote that I like and I'll just like nosh on it for a little while, but overall I don't have quotes that sort of define me. There are people who are very big into that and big into poetry and stuff, and I feel like I'm very into pictures, in particular like symbols and stuff, so this was kind of new territory for me. I was just looking up quotes about names, and I got a few good ones here. This one, I believe, is from the book Stargirl, although it did not explicitly say that, but it's a Jerry Spinelli quote, and it says, I am not my name. My name is something I wear. Like a shirt. It gets worn. I outgrow it. I change it. And I have not read Stargirl, but it's a book that I'm familiar with, and I just find it interesting that there's like the star element, and I've been very into the star imagery lately. I recently took a note out of Molly Roberts' book. She likes to paint figurines and stuff as part of her practice and make all of her own little shit. Hers is a vibe that I can really jive on because she's an art witch, and while I myself am not an art student like she is, I do love, like I said, getting my hands dirty, so I get a lot of ideas from her. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh! Do you have it on you?
Yeah.
Come in. Pardon the interruption. My fiance just delivered me dinner. It's sub time. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the quotes. So, star element. I took a page out of Molly Roberts' book and I painted a Mary figurine into like this star goddess. I'll put a picture up of it while I edit the video. And I also have a book that I made that has the star. The star card in tarot has always been a beautiful card to me. Not even just for the sort of tarot interpretation of it, but for the image itself of like the woman kneeling in front of the pool of water and the star above her. And I've always really been drawn to that image. It's very fantasy and very surreal and of course very dreamlike. You know, I love the dreamy shit. So anyway, that was quote number 1. Quote number 2 is by W.C. Fields, the famous like comedy actor and juggler. If you've ever seen his picture, I'm sure you know him by face, if not by name. But he says, "It ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to." And I love that. That's so great. That's so me. And then the third is a Lewis Carroll quote, and it's from either Alice in Wonderland or Through the Looking Glass, and it says, "Of course it must." Humpty Dumpty said with a short laugh, "My name means the shape that I am, and a good handsome shape it is too. With a name like yours, you might be any shape, almost." And I love that too. Alice in Wonderland is great, and I thought it also tied into the Matrix theme to have a Lewis Carroll quote. So okay, so this is starting to coalesce a little bit. We're starting to get somewhere. To recap, unrealized potential. Claiming your name, shouting it to the heavens, having no one tell you who you are but yourself, and quotes about names being t-shirts, and tying in Alice in Wonderland. I have to say I'm a little jaded about Alice in Wonderland. I love the story, but it has become like the weirdest, especially now that I'm planning a wedding. If you look online, there are enough Alice in Wonderland weddings, themed weddings, to like kill a guy. But anyway, so elements are starting to pile together. Now, how do I put that into something else? How do I make it concise? A teacher from Witch Camp had this great expression that I have adopted into my life: brevity with impact. You know, keep it short, but speak your truth, and you know, find ways to shrink it to size, because you want all of the content, but has more of a bang if you don't take forever. And that is exactly how I am as a person. Like, I tend to trim the fat out of a lot of my spells, and I have sort of condensed a lot of things like calling the quarters and drawing my circle, if I ever need to cast one in a minute, because like, you don't realize until you're pressed for time that you're trying to like squeeze a ritual in, and I am like a constantly never on time person. So I've had to adopt this technique into my craft, you know what I mean, by being like a straight shot get into what I'm doing and like none of the frilly shit. But I admit that, you know, it can be a hindrance at times, because there is something very powerful about ceremonial magic, and I have a respect for that. I'm trying to incorporate more of it into my practice, so, I don't know, should I do that tonight? Like, so many ideas. Oh, alright, I have to pause the video. I'm going to eat my sandwich. Ah, crap! Okay, I had some food. I'm feeling better. So, where did I leave off? The things that I got. The things that I found. So, I wanted to incorporate the quotes into the spell. The Lewis Carroll quote, the Humpty Dumpty one, is very interesting to me because it sort of hands me an opportunity to do something tangible, and that is what the quote, "My name means the shape that I am." So I thought that I might try to create a shape of some kind that would represent me. There is a particular sigil that I've used ever since I was about 11 or 12. I used to journal very heavily in those days, and I used to sign off on my entries with this symbol that I had just made up, and it was supposed to protect my books from being read by other people. And it is in effect a sigil. It's just it was way before I knew what contemporary witchcraft was. It was way before I knew how there was this development of how to make sigils in certain different ways. This one I just conjured out of thin air, and it's really become a symbol of my own personal identity. So when I read that Lewis Carroll quote in particular, I thought, oh my god, my symbol. I wonder if I should do something with that symbol. I had an idea. I don't have any tattoos, and today's the new moon. I'm not about to go out and get a tattoo today. But I thought that no matter what, on the day of my hearing, whether or not I finally get what I've always wanted and change my name legally, I might tattoo that symbol on my body somewhere. That's great for the end of the spell, but what can I do tonight? Well, I like the quote by Jerry Spinelli about the name being the shirt that you wear, or almost like something that you wear, and if you outgrow it, you can, get rid of it. And I do feel like I've outgrown my birth name. So I might, because I gained a lot of weight recently because I quit smoking in the last year and a half, I might take one of the shirts that doesn't fit me anymore and fucking enchant it and write my old name on it and then throw it away and or donate it. If I donated it, somebody might be able to wear it. The name's not so obscure that I don't think anybody would get any traction out of a t-shirt, but it would require doing some embroidery, which is something that I do. That's actually one of my favorite hobbies. It was the one that kind of pulled me out of the dark space after quitting smoking because it kept my hands busy, and I put my embroidery hoop down for a little while, and I think it's time for me to pick it back up again. So, oh my god, you guys, this is really coming together. I've got a tattoo at the end of the lunar cycle and the start of the next one, and I've got a t-shirt that I will embroider with my old name that I will wear during my ritual and then take off. And then, of course, there is always what happens after I take the t-shirt off. Well, I thought about maybe drawing the symbol on my body somewhere, like where I will get it tattooed, so that it can be on my skin. And I thought that that would have a lot of potency to it. And I can just do it in like eyeliner or something. It doesn't have to be in like permanent marker or whatever. I keep pointing to my chest, but I'm not going to put it on my chest. If I were to put it anywhere, it would be on my back. But I don't know how to reach and draw on my own back. That would just be way too hard. But anyway, I just really like that second quote by W.C. Fields. It ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. I just kind of wanted to throw that one in there. But then also I've got Neo. And I also kind of toyed with the idea of including Marilyn Monroe, but what I was trying to do when I conceived of this idea for my new moon ritual was that I was trying to prevent from using any celebrities or actors and instead use fictional characters when I was doing this. That way I could, rely on something kind of specific, but also you could throw a rock at a mob of celebrities and your chances of hitting one that's changed their name is like really significantly high. So I just felt that kind of like lost its potency, and when I stumbled upon Neo, I was like, oh, that's much better. So anyway, we've got quite a bit here. Okay, I think I'm ready to get to it. I would like to wish all of you a wonderful new moon. You can tell me if you're doing any specific spell work, leave it in the comments below. I've got another video coming up soon, which is me answering all 4 questions. The first 4 questions of the 2017 YouTube Pagan Challenge, and it's a banger, you guys, because it's about my witchy books, and that is like one of my favorite things to look at on YouTube of other YouTube pagans. So stay tuned for that. Blessed be all, and sweet dreams. See you later, guys.